Hello everyone, We What If here to bring you part 4, if I remember correctly, to what if female Deku was the daughter of All For One. Now, we start off when it's a day in class and Isaiah walks in. Now, the day goes pretty normal for Isaiah teaching a hero course class. At the end of the day, he announces that the USJ is... he announces that they're going to the USJ in a week. And everyone gets excited that they're going to get some rescue training going. I'm going to start doing some villainy stuff in this episode. As soon as Izumi got home, she noticed a note left on the bench saying, "Izumi, please meet us at the base. Mother." As she saw it, as she just thinks this is absolutely annoying, so she changes into her villain outfit, which is what she's wearing in the picture, has her put her hair tie about, and goes to the base. As literally all the lower villains are scared to be with her, especially when she has her evil personality active. As she walks in to the meeting area, as All For One says, Izumi, good timing. Do you have anything to report?" As Izumi gestures, "Well, father, Class 1A will be going to the USJ in a few weeks. Ah, excellent. This will be the perfect time to test out the Nomu on All Might." As well, Izumi sits down next to Inko, or Queen Teleka. What to do? Sorry guys, I actually came up with a mind script for this one, but I forgot to do this yesterday, so yeah, blah-de-blah-de-blah. As Izumi just sits down and listens to the multiple plans that everyone comes up with, as it gets to, her father, All For One, and he comes up with, the plan, like the plan they did in canon to just warp into the USJ. Yeah, that happens. As when all the villains leave, after all the villain leaves, All For One tells Izumi that Overhaul is coming for a meeting. As Izumi just responds with, "Overhaul? That prick is coming here for a meeting?" "Yes, dear. We have no idea why he requested this, but it must be something important if he comes to us for a meeting," says Inko. As time goes by, that's when Overhaul does show up. They sit in the meeting room. As Overhaul and All For One talk for a while, which is then Izumi asks, "Who's the kid?" "Ah, yes, the kid. Her name is Eri, and she's assisting me in my plan." As Izumi just gives a doubtful look to Overhaul and says, "What plan?" "Oh, her quirk is called Rewind. She can rewind anything and anyone. So we'll use her quirk to put it back to the time where quirks never existed." As All For One found this annoying. As All For One found Overhaul's plan annoying and stupid. And Izumi could tell that Eri wasn't given a choice to help Overhaul. She's being forced to help him. As the meeting goes on for a little while longer, as before Overhaul could leave, Izumi said, "Leave Eri." As he turned around and said, "What was that?" "Leave Eri, Overhaul. You're forcing her to help her. I can..." As Overhaul gives Izumi a mean look and says, "Huh. And why should I do that? You're forcing her to help her, and you most likely abuse her as well." As before Overhaul could grab Eri and leave, Izumi takes her hand to Overhaul and steals his quirk. As Overhaul, now being quirkless, gets booted out by even the lowest villains in the League of Villains. As Eri is scared, as Izumi picks up and tells her she's going to be fine. Now, none of these people here will touch you. As Eri feels really safe right now. As well, a few more as Izumi still goes to school to be a spy on UA. But during this time, she can't help but get a crush on someone. I'm not gonna reveal who the ship is, but it's not Bakugo, that's for sure. As we have one day, Bakugo texts Izumi asking if you wanna hang out with him and Roundface. As Izumi texts back, yeah, sure. As she gets dressed and goes to hang out with Bakugo and Ochako. As all three of them have a very fun day. Hanging out, playing in the arcade. Just usual friend stuff. As it gets to when they're walking through the mall and they see a villain. No, they see a hero go flying through the wall. And they can't help to notice it's the bunny hero, Mirako. As then they turn to see who she's fighting. It's Queen Teleka. As their battle continues, All Might and Endeavor show up. As the battle goes on for a while between the four of them. As parts of the mall start falling. As multiple civilians are trapped underneath rubble. Izumi's good side, again in air quotations good, wanting to keep her cover, pushes Bakugo and Ochako out of the way and gets trapped in rubble herself. As she doesn't want to use the strength quirk she required, as she's bleeding from her arms and head, as she doesn't want to use her strength quirk because that will just blow her cover, and her telekinesis will more than likely make her pass out if she uses it while she's bleeding from the head. Queen Teleka, noticing that her daughter got trapped under rubble because of her saving her friends, gets annoyed but doesn't really react all too much, because she knows it was just to do it to keep her cover. Now she keeps her focus on the pro heroes. As well, as the battle goes on for a while, as the mall is just leveled at this point. As before Endeavor could arrest Queen Teleka, Kurogiri teleported her out of there. As Endeavor is really frustrated that they've never been able to get Queen Talika. And he's even more pissed that she was right in front of him and he still couldn't do it. As Endeavor, using his flame, starts melting rubble as All Might tells him to go cool off, to go blow steam off somewhere else. As Endeavor, not wanting to hurt civilians, does that. As Miyako and All Might are looking through rubble, they find Izumi there. As both All Might and Miyako notice that it's one of the UA, it's a UA student in a class 1A, in a classman of I can't English, it's a class 1A student from UA. As All Might, about to go into his Small Might form, tells Miyako to take her to the hospital and inform her parents he has to deal with business elsewhere. As Miyako does this, as well, Inko is informed and gets dressed in her casual clothes and rushes to the hospital to be the worried mom. As yes, Inko has made the exact same thing as Izumi has. Just Inko did it first. As she's roaming all over her baby girl. As then Bakugo and Ochako walk in. Ochako's worried about her friend. Then Bakugo just starts yelling, "Why did you do that, you dumb Deku?" As Izumi just gives off a little laugh, saying, I had to save my best friends, right? That's what heroes do. As Bakugo, just even more annoyed, says, you didn't have to get crushed by the... Well, you didn't have to push us out of the way and then get crushed by rubble yourself. You could have used your telekinesis. Izumi just gives off another little chuckle and says, yeah, you're right. As when they both leave, as when Ochako and Bakugo leaves, then Inko and Izumi get some time to themselves. Izumi hands Inko a notebook informing her about Class 1A's quirks. As when Inko's flipping through the notebook, she notices a heart over one of the boy names. As Izumi, without realizing it, put a heart over her crush's name. Inko didn't want to say anything just in case she did want to talk about, but in the back of her mind, Inko knows that this may be trouble down the line. As she just says, thank you, honey. I'll go take this to your father. All right, Mom. Have a nice trip. Yeah. As Inko just walks out walks out and goes somewhere where no one can see her, and Kirigiri teleports her to the base. As a few days after Izumi was released from the hospital, it's the USJ excursion. As it goes like canon, the villains show up. Class 1A thinks they're fake villains, but they're real villains. Everything goes according to canon. Except when the Nomu shows up. As it still beats Aizawa to a pulp. But Bakugo and Izumi step in, tag teaming the Nomu. Tenyo, who was there, pretending to be like the big bad of the League of Villains, notice it, but again, it's something that will keep Izumi's cover. As he's really annoyed, as he pretends to be really annoyed about two kids beating the Nomu. As Bakugo keeps exploding it with explosives, while Izumi just picks up rubble from the Nomu beating down Aizawa and chucking it at the Nomu. As they see it, they're doing damage, but the Nomu just keeps healing and regenerating. As the Nomu grabs Bakugo and chucks him into a wall so hard that it knocks out Bakugo instantly. As the Nomu charges at Izumi using her martial arts background without using one of her strength quirks she took, manages blocks and evades the Nomu's attacks. As the Nomu's starting to get a little annoyed, then manages to punch Izumi a few feet away. Now, before the Nomu could get the killing blow, All Might steps in and that fight goes as canon and nothing else really changes. So yeah, I'm going to leave it off here, guys. Remember to comment, like, subscribe, and turn on the post notification bell if you're enjoying this series. And, well, in all honesty, out.